Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, this Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, the 13th of March. That's a lot of It's 2014, and I am here to talk the next hour about Marvel Heroes. It's the game that I love. I'm a huge fan of the game. I've been that since release. It's only getting better, and I am Malesurs. I'm just a guy with a webcam. I stream this game pretty frequently, and I love to show off the game, to show people what the game is like, to play with the viewers and to be interactive, and I'm just having a great time. So this is basically made for you, from the fan to the fans, and I just hope you like it. I try to make something out of it every week, and welcome everyone that's a live viewer, welcome everyone that's currently on Twitch, and I got a lot of cool stuff to talk about, so let's start. And I'm going back to the studio, and as you might know from before, this was my studio, right? And people thought it was cheesy, right? So thanks to our mythic who is out there, he gave me a new studio, and there we are. Welcome to the new studio. And then I see that my camera is not adjusted well. It happens. I think I twitched it a little bit, but hey, I'm on Twitch, so that makes perfect sense. There we are. I'm behind my desk. This is better, is it not? I like it. I think this is it. Okay. All right. Let's start. Today I am able to talk about two patches, which is great. We have been having the 2.32 patch last week, which came on Friday, and I do this at Thursday. And today we had the 2.33 patch. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's first start at last week. Last week was the Gambit rework. I will show you the new Gambit in a little bit. Gambit has had his rework. He's just a new hero, you say. Why is he getting the rework? Well, honestly, he didn't really feel right. He was one of the new heroes that didn't really fit right from the start. We all know most heroes since Human Torch have been great, right? They have been amazing. But Gambit didn't really feel right. He was tough to level. Even though he was a fan favorite, he was chosen by the fans to be made. So when was he released? I think it was November. So it's 2 or 3 months ago, 4 months. But they changed him already quite significantly. I will show you that. A lot of people are happy with the new Gambit. So am I. I leveled him again from 1 to 60 on the green prestige. And I had a great time. So I will show you how he is in the game in a little bit. The other thing they tried last weekend is they did the Odin's Bounty weekend. And basically what they did is they is Gazillion, the creators of this game. They made specific bosses on a timetable drop extra loot. So they had so it started at 12 p.m. their time, I think, at their noon time, and on the west coast of the United States. And they every 2 hours another boss would drop extra loot. And I really enjoyed the concept. It really brought you to different places where you would normally not go. They had a bigger chance to get the loot that you wanted. So the biggest, for example, Gem of Curse dropping from Curse. The chance was upped very much when he was on. Then you have the Hand of Doom, of course. People went to get the Hand of Doom during those 2 hours of Doom, and everyone was switching around. Modek was part of that as well. So what happened was that a lot of people went for those bosses and tried to run them as many times as they could in those 2 hours. There was some confusion about the loot. I remember that as well. Some people thought that the loot drops were not 4 times as much as they were said, but the idea was that the loot table, the loot specific drop, so the specific boss specific artifacts, I must call it that, were high at like 4 times. So that means, for example, a Gem of Curse, even if you run it 60 times in those 2 hours of as much as you can, it's still a low drop chance. So it's still, you got 4 times more chance to drop it, but some people have been grinding for days and didn't have a Gem of Curse artifact. So not everyone got lucky. A lot of other people got lucky as well, and I really enjoy the concept. I think it's cool. They could do more stuff with that in the future. So that was the Odin's Bounty weekend. Also, people got a chest every day, which gave you extra Odin marks for your legendary. So it was a fun weekend. I leveled my Gambit during that, and I had a lot of fun. The other big change last week was the X Defense. What they are trying to do is X Defense, for people who don't really know X Defense, it is the place where you defend the X Mansion of Professor Xavier, as we all know it, and it's a wave event. So you start wave 1, there comes mobs, and you have to defeat them, and your next wave starts. And you could have boss waves, you could have a lot of mobs spawning. So there's a lot of variety, and they constantly add the waves and they tweak it. Eventually you get split waves after wave 10. They're constantly working on that concept. It's getting better every week, and what they're currently doing is to hate the levers, if that makes sense. A lot of people were coming there and were only staying for the first waves because they were down easy, and they jumped out and jumped back straight in because that would generate a lot of extra gear and a lot more XP than just staying in there, because the waves become longer. It takes longer before you can kill all the mobs, and it didn't really feel rewarding. So what have they done is they done a few things. They did, after in the wave that's not a boss wave, you got another chest, so you could open that. But also at the end of the whole X Defense, so if you fail, for example, if all the students are captured and stuff, you get a bonus chest at the end, and they're tweaking that currently. But the idea is that if you stay until the end, you will get rewarded by the chest. So that's a great idea. I never really leave X Defense, so for me it's not really a difference. I did notice the end reward chest. It was fun to get. It also was a little bit on the low end, but they're still tweaking that, so we're going to see how that evolves. The other big change was that a lot of uniques drop more frequently. We've all noticed that a lot. A lot of uniques are being dropped. You can easily get a few while leveling up. You don't get maybe that is specific for the specific slot. You're still going to spend a few days getting that. But overall, there was a lot of a significant increase in your unique, so that was pretty cool to get that. So anyway, I'm trying to look at the chat here, which makes me laugh. Anyway, so that was the biggest patch notes. They also tweaked some bugs, which I'm not going to really go into, and they added some costumes, which I'm going to show in a bit. So let me go there. Just if I open to the main game, and there we are. So this is the first costume that I want you to show. It's the one from Rocket Raccoon, and it is the office attire costume, and it just looks great. It's 1250 G in the store. Look at this. It's having the staple guns, if you could see, instead of the normal guns. And they fire actual staples, which is that's just peachy, right? That's just awesome. So that looks just brilliant. And then you can fly with your jetpack. And it's not a jetpack, it is actually a fire extinguisher, which is awesome. And so yeah, that's a great costume if you like Rocket Raccoon. And the latest news just came in that I was checking my tweets, and Reconetic, as you might know, Leo Wild, could for some reason not get the costume, but he got help from someone named Jeff Donnet, which you might know. And he got help, and I had just found out just before the show that Leo Wild got this costume as well now, which should be right. He is the biggest Rocket Raccoon fan out there. I know everyone loves him, but he just goes beyond that, and I don't know if he's here, but congratulations on the costume. I really like it as well. Definitely gonna use it. It just looks really cool, right? Cool. Let's go to the other people that have got a new costume. Before I go to Gambit, the others that have gotten the costume is this week is Squirrel Girl. So let me switch to her. There she is.
Hey, squirrel time.
It's squirrel time. Look at her. She got a pretty high upskirt skirt, which I not necessarily dislike, I must say. She looks really well done. Her squirrels didn't really get anything extra, but she looks really well done. It's the Great Lake Avengers costume. It looks really good. I really like the eyes. I don't know if you can see it, but she has like these drawings on her eyes, and it looks really good. It's cool because she didn't really have many costumes, so it's cool that she gets some love as well there. So that's awesome. All right, let me show you Gambit. Gambit got a great costume. He got the this one.
Merci beaucoup.
The Forever City costume. I have some size increase on him. It's the Stormtrooper costume, as you could see. It's pretty cool, right? So and the last costume I want to show you, and I wanna add something there because people ask me sometimes, why is it called Malesurs Madness, right? What's up with that? So I will show you in the next frame. So if you give me a sec. Oh, I know some of you are gonna die again. I hope. I mean that in a good way. Die from laughter. Because the last costume is from Jean Grey.
Don't worry.
And oh, it doesn't fit. Let me check 1 sec. This is not good. Whoa, something goes wrong. This is awesome. This is what happened in live television. Oh my god. There we go. This is the new costume, the Jean Grey, all new X-Men one. And I think they done the hair pretty well this time, don't you think? I think they done an amazing job there. And now my neck twitches a little bit too far. Ah, that hurts. Anyway, that's just a really good, well done costume. And she has a very flexible neck, as you could see. And she also has some other good stuff going for her. So this is one of my favorite costumes. It looks really good. It's really well done. So thank you, Gazillion, for making that. So and let's go back to Gambit. So that's all right. Here is Gambit. So I look like a hippie. I'm a hipster, I guess, today. So let's go a bit through Gambit's new abilities. So what they have done is they made. I should put this on. This looks ridiculous. What do you think? Should I keep it up? I'm gonna look at the chat. Anyway, I'm going to go through the skills of Gambit. What they've done is they made him more simple. They removed the black and the red suits. And they I cannot do this seriously. Oh my god, sorry. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I tried, man, I tried. I try so hard. Alright, so what they've done is they did, for both the melee spec and the range spec, they only gave you one basic to choose from, so you don't really have to choose it. The only option you have to choose is, do you want to go ranged, or do you want to go melee? So, that's the first choice, and then they just changed a lot of the abilities. I can mostly only talk about the melee abilities, but what they have done, for example, is bow beatdown is still the same, but for example, street sweep, it's this ability. Let me show you. It now has, instead of the first animation and knockdown, it now has this really cool purple stuff on the ground, and that will keep doing energy damage. As you can see, pretty significant damage. And that looks pretty sweet, I must say. I like the visuals, I like the damage, I really like the street sweep. Is one of my favorite abilities right now. The bow beatdown is just in a huge cone, as you can see. It kind of, the arc is kind of behind my pointer, but it's like almost 180 degrees, and it hurts for quite a bit, and it does even more damage on bosses. So if you have like an elite pack, for example, in the next defense or midtown, this ability is really good to nuke them down, especially if you use the street sweep first, and then use your bow beatdown, and even better if you use Raging Cajun, so that you get